What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap for August 25. Today market was fairly choppy and we were expecting that because, as I said in yesterday's video, if you wanted to see a long pullback, we were probably waiting for a retest around this key zone where buyers are waiting with their limit orders. Reason why here is pretty much self-explanatory. As I said, just nice buy areas before we had a dump. So I'd expect for buyers to be hanging around this zone. We could also see a pullback all the way here if necessary, but I'd prefer not, as I'd say market needs to not dump too hard so we could keep the momentum to the upside. With Qs also being behind, we want to see some buyers kick in momentarily for this week. We should see around a nice push up if bulls are going to kick in soon. With that being said, we did take one trade today on Apple. Unfortunately, it ended up being a loser, and I'll show you why I took this trade today. So we took this trade off this 226 level over here. We weren't expecting much today, but we did see Apple open with strong relative strength as the market was chomping. Apple was pushing really strong, so it caught my attention, and I looked for a retest around the yesterday's rejection zone for an entry. Looking now on hindsight, we probably should have waited for a deeper pullback around this down close candle here, which is something I'd usually trade. However, we were a little impatient today as I did think it honestly would not have retested that level below since we were pushing with such strong strength. I was looking for a nice continuation up. Another mistake I made today was also not protecting my profits at high of day here. Contracts weren't moving too well on Apple, as we usually know. They usually don't move too good. But once it reaches high here, it pretty much wasn't even more than this high over here. So that was also another reason why I didn't trim yet. I was expecting a nice volume push, but however, we did not get it. And it came back to our entry and broke me even. And this is where we got stopped out, unfortunately. As you can see, it also held. So there's also another mistake I've made. Looking on the higher time frame, to be honest, this trade I should have waited for a nice and a clear break of this level before entering on a retest. As you can see here, we pretty much filled instantly when we went above on the 5-minute time frame, and we pretty much entered on the consolidation area, which, as you can see now, it still would have, not hit our profit target, but we probably would have taken off some contracts before then. But as you can see here, it just continued to run down. A trade I was interested in today was Tesla. However, I did not execute, which is really unfortunate. But looking at today as well, we weren't expecting much. Tesla was dumping off the bat, so we weren't looking for any calls. However, on the bigger time frame, we could see that Tesla has been trying to recover. As you can see here, nice move up here, and we were expecting a nice continuation to the upside. However, since Tesla was too bullish off the morning, I was too hesitant taking calls. But as you can see here, there was nice retest levels over here on this 340 levels, and this is something I should have taken today. And as we scale down to lower time frame, we can see here that it was retesting this area of that level I just showed, 340, for a while, almost for around an hour. And as we head to the bigger time frame, we can see that it pretty much always held that level. We never got a close below, and it's been consolidating around that zone. This trade here was perfect. I would say this is one of those A+ trades I should have taken on higher time frame. Only thing that held me back was the market being choppy. So, I actually wouldn't say A+ as SPY and Qs were chopping today, but the setup on Tesla alone here was pretty much very clean. A nice dump off in the morning, and buyers reclaiming this level, rebuilding liquidity for the upside. And that pretty much is it for Tesla. Looking at AMD, we were looking for some calls. However, It seems like AMD was not strong enough today. We were looking for a nice hold above this 168 level over here for a continuation to the upside. However, we did not get that, and we gapped down below and had a strong sell-off straight in the morning. So no trades on AMD for me. We do have a big gap on the big time frame that has not yet been filled, so we could be cautious about this. But with market near all-time highs, I'm not sure we'd reach that level just yet. So yeah, without further ado, that pretty much wraps it up for today. Looking into tomorrow, we could see some strong bullish setup for SPY to continue to the upside. As I said earlier in the video, we're looking for a nice hold above these levels over here. And if not, then probably see shorts around down here if we break below this 641 level and for a retest. So you can see we want it to flush down first before coming up for a retest and then coming back down. So that is something we want to see if we want to see for shorts. And for calls, we want to see something like this, like how we are right now, a break above and a retest back below this level and the move up. So as you can see, this play is actually it's happening right now, so we could expect some nice call side tomorrow. But that pretty much sums it up for today, and hope you guys traded well today, and don't forget to risk manage well, and see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.